Hey there, you beautiful badass. Welcome to the Keri Croft Show. I'm your host, Keri Croft, delivering you stories that get you pumped up and feeling like the unstoppable savage that you are. So grab your coffee, put on your game face, and let's do this thing, baby. Ready to elevate your self-care game? Boss Gal Beauty Bar is a modern med spa offering everything from cosmetic injectables, lasers and microneedling, to medical-grade facials and skincare. Conveniently located in Clintonville, Grandview, Powell, and Easton, making self-care a priority has never been easier. Use code CROFT for $25 off your first visit. We all know the age-old joke, why did the chicken cross the road? Well, in this day and age, old chicks cross the road to make their way to SZN, a groovy little boutique in downtown Powell, Ohio. Located at 37 South Liberty Street, SZN offers curated apparel, accessories, and gifts from purpose-driven brands. Stop in and listen to Tara's story and the stories of the brands sold within the shop. Ask her why a hen is Zen, and receive four-legged greetings from Wally, the small and mighty shop dog. At SZN, your purchase has a bigger purpose. Mention the awesomeness that is the Keri Croft Show and receive 20% off your total purchase. Jacy Sheldon, welcome to the Keri Croft Show.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You're just a vision.
Oh, man, I don't know about that.
I was just saying, before we officially started, I'm like, I was doing another little Wikipedia, and I'm like, this can't be right. She's 24. You're a baby. You're a little baby.
I know. Especially in the W now, I feel even more young and like a baby there.
You just feel fresh, right? Like a little
Absolutely.
baby's arse. I like your Cleveland shirt.
Thank you. I actually grew up in Cleveland.
I was going to say, so you moved from Cleveland to Columbus.
Yes.
When was that?
So that was going into my freshman year of high school. But grew up there. My parents were both coaches there. We lived in a little town called Olmsted Falls. So just kind of grew up there. Most of my childhood was there. And then for high school, moved to Dublin, which is in Columbus.
Was that so traumatizing for you in the beginning? You're like, you're not moving me to Columbus.
That's how we went. Yeah. It was hard for sure, especially going into high school in a new place, with, meeting new people. But it was worth it. Looking back on it, I met so many people that, I wouldn't have if we didn't make that move. So everything really does happen for a reason.
Oh, yeah. And,
my Cleveland friends were still really close today. So it all worked out.
Yeah. It probably taught you how to be agile.
Absolutely.
Were both your parents or coaches?
So my dad was a basketball coach up until I went into high school. And my mom was a volleyball and track coach she still coaches track today.
What's your dad's name, Dwayne?
Yeah.
Hi, Dwayne. And what's your mom's name?
Laura.
Laura?
Yep.
Hi, Laura. You guys done good with this one.
Oh,
you done
gosh.
good. So let's talk about them while we're on the rents. See, look, I'm already trying to be cool. I'm already trying to be cool. Okay. So they were both coaches, so I assume they both were highly influential.
Absolutely.
They're both athletic. But then aside from the genetics athletically, let's go with Dwayne first.
Okay.
What would you say if you had to pick something out of a hat that is Dwayne? And I'm sure there's myriad of things that your dad has taught you, but as I'm asking this question, like, what's the biggest one if you had to take one thing that he drilled into you and run with it?
My work ethic probably would be up there. But I think a lot of it, he also instilled basketball at a really young age. And from there, I kind of fell in love with it, taught me everything I know at a very young age, and kind of started to teach me the game even further once I got a little older. But, the work ethic that I had back then sticks with me even now. So I guess it's a little on me, but if without him, it would be non-existent. And he wouldn't admit it, but that definitely had a lot to do with where I am today.
What's his personality like? Is he is he like a softie? Is he a grunt? Like, what's he like?
It's interesting. He's really stern. He's very to the point. But ever since Emmy, he's got a little softer side. He's lightened up a little bit. Great guy, but everyone will say, my brother always says Emmy made him soft. Emmy softened him up a bit.
Maybe he needed to lighten up a little bit. Sometimes we don't know what we need until we get
That's
it.
That's a great point.
Right? Now, what about your mom? So now we're going to talk about your mama.
Go ahead.
What would you, and I'm sure there's a million things. You're like, I can't pick just one.
Oh my gosh.
But if I made you pick just one.
My mom's my best friend. That's the word I'd use probably to describe her, especially now. Being home a little extra, she's taught me, more than everything I know as a person. the challenge, how to go through the challenges in life and the good and the bad. And without her, I'd be lost. I know a lot of people would say that, but she's been everything, and learning how to, not only be kind, but be real. I kind of throughout my whole life has been something that, I can credit her to. She's been awesome.
What has she taught you about being a woman?
Oh my gosh.
In the world today, right? Like, it's like to be a woman is like, you're to this. You're not enough that. You're fitting into this. Is your mom sort of like, girl, be who you want to be
Absolutely.
strong,
Absolutely.
Do you?
Absolutely. I think I grew up watching her and wanting to be like her, which is more like the best role model I could have had. And she supported me through not only my athletic journey, but my, like you mentioned, my journey into becoming a woman. And she's been more than enough, and someone I can lean on throughout that experience too. So I'm just so thankful for her.
What's her personality? How does she sort of vibe with the Dwayne? Like, is she more lighthearted?
She's super loving, super kind. She's funny at times. She doesn't try to be, but kind of lightens the whole situation. I don't know if you've ever seen Friday Night Lights.
Oh, listen.
My favorite TV show, but the parents in that show remind me so much of my parents. That's kind of how I look at them. They just, balance each other out really well.
I won't go into details with you since you are a young, innocent, fresh woman, but my crush on Coach Taylor.
I had one too.
I still have it.
Oh,
like,
he's great, especially in that show.
I love him so much. His little accent and his hat and how he's always, oh man, he is something else.
That's
he is
hilarious.
Something else. So speaking of Emmy, let's just go right into her,
Sounds
shall we? I have found myself on a number of rabbit holes just watching her and how her zest for life. And so she's going to be 17. You're 24. So there's what? 7 years between you. And so Emmy was born with Down syndrome. And I'm sure when you first found that out and you were just a little kid, do you remember how that kind of rocked your family? Or was it more like, hey, this is what's happening? Yeah. And how did that all go?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that on the way over here because I haven't thought about it in a long time. And obviously I was young. I was 7 years old. But I remember hearing that she had Down syndrome and she was going to come home from the hospital. And I didn't really know what to expect. I was 7, so I didn't really know what that meant. I think I probably Googled it, and that probably didn't help the situation. So, I read about it, and I was still kind of curious for her to come home. And I remember her coming home, and I remember looking at her thinking she looks just like us, if not a little cuter. And then I also remember thinking, after everything I've read and everything I've heard, that we're going to love her more than anything. And looking back at it now, in that situation, you don't know what to expect. We're new to it. We really didn't know much about Down syndrome at all until her. But it's crazy looking back because we never would have imagined the impact and the person that she is. She's probably the sweetest, most caring, nicest, happiest person you'll ever meet. And those who have met her know what I'm talking about. Those who haven't, in a way, I feel bad for because she's just a blessing and can brighten your mood no matter what's going on, whether it's a loss, whether it's a bad day. She's going to be there, and she's going to find a way to put a smile on your face. So she's absolutely the best thing that's happened to our family and the biggest blessing that's happened too.
So I saw that quote, hear my words, never give up. Is that, so she just tell me the inception of that.
So I actually got it tattooed on me this past year, but so before every game, me and my brother who plays at Ohio University, she'll send us little video clips of, it's hilarious. I got to show you one, but it's about a minute long of her going on and on about what we got to do to win, what we got to do to play well out there. And at the end, she'll say, don't forget, hear my words. At the end. So she said it throughout my college career at Ohio State, now in Texas, at Dallas, she's saying the same thing. So eventually I'm like, that's pretty powerful. I think that's going to stick with me forever. And it has, and she'll probably never stop saying it.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not. Now, what's your brother's name?
AJ.
AJ. And where is he in the mix?
So he's 2 years younger than me. He's a junior at Ohio University.
We know what you're doing there at OU. Okay, AJ, we know what you're doing there. I mean, you're probably on the straight and narrow because you're an athlete and you're balling. But we know what that school's known for.
Oh man, it's surprising. He's someone I got to drag out. He won't go out on his own.
Ah,
so
really?
he's more, yeah.
He's reclusive.
Yeah, in a way. I think his teammates have lightened him up a bit, but when he first got down there, I'd have to be like, you need to go out. You need to go have some fun.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about, so you were balling at Ohio State. You were the fifth round draft pick, and you went to Dallas Wings. So that's a huge accomplishment. When you were at Ohio State and you had the NIL and college athletics was changing so much, or had changed, a little bit prior to you coming in, what was the NIL like for you personally?
That's a good question. It was just kind of starting up kind of fast when it hit us. And my senior year into March is kind of when I got involved heavily with it. And it's great. I think it's an amazing experience for athletes, obviously to gain income from what they're doing. And something that we're very thankful for and happy about. It was hard, I think, for me specifically. I'm not a big social media person. I don't love social media, so it wasn't a hard adjustment for me for sure, just to learn how to collaborate with, these companies and then go on to post by deadlines and stuff like that. But it was a cool experience, and it helped me. The position I'm in today, I'm glad I had it because it definitely kind of introduced me to that side of things, the business side of things. But it's cool to see it grow because it's already grown since, I'm out of Ohio State. It's grown a ton.
So how busy were you and how much were you actually doing and who was I want to understand kind of the business side of what you were doing.
I think it could have been that way for me. I didn't really go out and seek, companies then. Didn't really have agents going out there and doing that for me as you do now when you're in the WNBA. But I think how it was for me, they came to me, and then I decided if I want to do that or not. It was a lot of trying to think back to what I did. I did a lot of things with restaurants. I did a lot of things with a couple clothing companies. What else was it? Just videos, little reels for companies. Nothing too crazy. Me and my teammate did something with Express. Like, it was all really fun stuff and really cool stuff. But at that time, I think, especially in the middle of March when you're, working towards a championship, it's kind of whatever came my way during that time.
Yeah, but it's so great to actually have money in your pocket.
No kidding.
To go do the things.
Absolutely a plus.
Because I went to Ohio State too, and, no, that was not happening for me. I can tell you that. I would love to know a day in the life when you're not injured, because as you can see, you have the boot on, so you broke your foot, but you're on the mend.
Yes. Yep.
What does a typical WNBA day in the life look like?
Yeah, it's a good question. So for us, we'd get the schedule the night before. I think usually we'd go in around 10. That's when rehab and stuff like that would start. I like to get in there early, kind of get my stuff figured out. So I'd go in and do rehab around 10, try to get some shooting in. Practice start around 12, so try to get some shooting in before then. Practice would go hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on, what the schedule looks like that week. And then after, we would stay and shoot for probably about an hour at least. Get back in the training room, get recovery. We'd eat there. Then after that, you're probably looking at going home around 3 or 4. And I like to come back at night. I'm a night owl. Probably in the gym a little too much, but I'd go back around 7 or 8, just get my everyday shooting routine in, get ball handling in, and then head home, and that would be it. But that's what the day looked like for me.
Are you a pretty good eater?
I've improved. In college, I would have said absolutely not. I eat whatever I want. Yeah. And now I pay a little bit more attention to it because it's part of your job now, I say. So I've definitely been better.
Are you intimidated? Being on that, going from Ohio State to a professional arena. I mean, but I'm sure someone like you is that intimidation is dwarfed by the passion to rise up.
But
is there a little it's just me over here, Jacy. I'm just little old me.
It's not intimidation. I think it's when you're a competitor that goes away.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's more so looking up to these people when I was young, like DT and Kelsey Mitchell, who went to Ohio State, and looking up to these girls and now being out there guarding them. It's just kind of a a full circle, like, whoa moment. That's kind of what it was like for me. But more than anything, it's cool to get to play against them for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of like full circle whoa moments, I mean, just women's sports, women's basketball right now in general, it's like rise up.
Oh, yeah.
So how many people ask you if it's really worth it to get a haircut by Mia Santiago?
Honestly, a lot. And honestly, it is.
I mean, she is a celebrity hairstylist in Columbus, Ohio. That's all you really need to know.
She doesn't miss, and now she has her own salon, Headspace. It is truly something the city has never seen.
Girl, I did one scalp treatment, and I would let Jake put his hands on my head anytime he wanted.
No, same. It's right in Upper Arlington where Mia cuts and styles, and Jake manages a full scalp spa, which is like a facial for your scalp and a massage for all of the stress and tension we hold in our head and neck.
I legit felt like I was on something after I got my first treatment, and my hair looks so much healthier now that all the buildup and dead skin are gone. I mean, I do love massages, but honestly, this might be even better. Plus, it has so many proven benefits for my hair health.
Truly believe you get what you pay for, and Mia and Jake are the dream team.
Use code Keri for 20% off your first visit with Miss Mia Santiago. You have to just be over the moon.
Oh, yeah.
With all the visibility and all the accolades and all the due credit.
Yeah.
I mean, people are actually watching and paying to see women's basketball.
Yeah. It's been insane, to be honest, just to be a part of it and see that change firsthand. I think it's long overdue. These women in this league have been doing this for so long and deserve that for so long. And to be a part of the group that's changing it and, finally getting people in the seats and eyes on the game has been really cool.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing against Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. I mean, Caitlin Clark, I feel like she's the Taylor Swift of women's basketball. You know, she can do no wrong. But I feel like if I met her, she probably would live up to that. She just seems very like, this is who she is, and she's going to be a class act on and off.
Yeah.
But she's a really good baller, right?
Yeah, she can play.
But you can play too. You're like, what's up, Caitlin?
We've been playing against each other for years and years. We were, rivals at Ohio State, Iowa, and now in the league. So it's been crazy.
It's great though to play against someone like that, right? Because you're like, they just bring out the best.
Oh, absolutely. When you're a competitor, you want to play against the best and challenge the best. So it's been fun over the years to compete against her for sure.
What do you think about? I don't know if you saw the comment, but Shaq was saying how they should lower the hoops.
Oh, no.
So I think, and of course, Angel Reese was clapping back as she does.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, she's like, why? So we can dunk?
Right.
Like, just so we can be like you or whatever? You didn't see that?
I haven't. I heard about it. I think I glanced over on Twitter. And, sure, it'd be cool for us to dunk. But I think there's so many other aspects of our game that make us pretty fun to watch. And I think that's kind of proven itself now.
Yeah.
And obviously the fundamentals I think girls are amazing at. They have to be because of the way our game is, but it's entertaining. We can score, and Caitlin's proven that, and multiple players in the league are proving that it's fun to watch people shoot at the logo too and watch people make unbelievable plays. Sure, dunking would be cool, but I think we're good. I think we're good without it.
Yeah, Shaq. Take that. Do you like to shit talk on the court?
I don't a lot. I kind of just am like, let my game take care of it. People do talk more in the W. I wouldn't call it shit talking. It's more like goofing around. But I've always been like, let the game talk. Like that's always been my thing.
Let it speak for itself.
Yeah.
Are you single?
I am.
And then was it so hard for you to move away from your family, or were you just ready?
It was hard. I was a little I didn't know what to expect. So I guess in a way I was almost looking forward to it, but knew it was going to be a challenge for me. I've always been around my family, high school, and then coming to Ohio State, being 20 minutes from them. I've never been away. So in a way, I knew it was like part of growing up, part of getting older, and something I, had to go with. And, it hasn't been as hard as I expected. We still talk a lot. They were able to visit a lot. But at first I was a little nervous. Didn't know how it would work out, but it's been great so far.
You like the city?
I do.
Like what's the highlight of Dallas for you? Right
it's hot. The weather is amazing. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Like we're talking 90s, like 90s and up, which has been great. We're in Arlington where we live, so it's by the Cowboy Stadium. We only went down to downtown Dallas a couple times, but Fort Worth was my favorite in Texas. It was about 20-25 minutes away from us. When you think of Texas, I think of Fort Worth. That's kind of your old school. You got horses going everywhere. You got cattle, and that was my favorite part of Texas.
I love that. Back to you being single, because that's so. What do you look for in a mate?
Oh gosh, that's a great.
What
question.
are your like top?
That's a great question. I would say,
and I before you answer this, I do want a couple. Let's mix in a couple superficial things. Like I know we want the deep, but I mean I want like a couple like type, physical type.
That's fair. I think one thing is I'm a really motivated person. I don't like to sit around. I like to go out there, get better no matter what I'm doing. Right now it's basketball. So I think having someone who's similar to me in that aspect, very determined, very motivated, that's something that's huge for me. And I think it'll just always be that way. As far as, I say someone who's athletic, but as long as you could throw a football and shoot a basketball, right? But I have dated athletes in the past, and they've been awesome. I think somebody taller than me, that's always important. And
it actually is really important.
Right?
It just turns out that way.
Short King's awesome. But
no, listen, no hate on the short men out there, because I know some really awesome. It's our fault. We're just
the
giraffes.
problem.
Like seriously, it's me high on the problem.
Absolutely.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. But I think also with my schedule, having someone who understands that, and understands my everyday, and they would have to go both ways. I'd have to understand theirs too, but that's been important for me in the past as well.
Let's take a little turn back to the Ohio State University and how that university just set you up for success and just teed you up. And I just had Miss Carla on the show, so I feel like we would be remiss not to just least give her a little hey girl.
Oh yeah, Carla's the best.
And what did looking back on your career at Ohio State, I'm sure that it taught you a lot. I'm sure there's many moments, but what would you say if you had to bubble it up? Like what did it teach you the most?
I would say, oh my gosh, a lot. It shaped me into the player and person I am now, got me to where I am now. But I would say I learned so many lessons. One of the best is probably just accountability and being the best teammate you can be. I was there 5 years, so I overdid my stay for sure. But my freshman year there, learned a lot of lessons. We had a rougher year, but we were able to stay together through it. And I think from there on out, the culture just grew, and we built the culture up to what it is now. And accountability was a huge part of that, whether it's holding people accountable on the floor, off the floor, as a friend, as a teammate. I think that's what, allowed our groups to thrive as much as we did. But the relationships I've made with players, coaches, anyone that I've met in that university is what I'm most thankful for sure. And I think a lot of those will be lifelong relationships, and made me a better person. And I hope I made a couple people better along the way as well. But, Ohio State will always be home for me.
Any aspirations to coach? Any fire in your belly there?
I never thought, I would go into coaching. I'm questioning that. So I think it's something I would enjoy, especially on the women's side and basketball specifically. But we'll see.
Who would you say, who comes to mind as your favorite coach in women's college basketball?
Oh, McGuff. I mean, I can't answer anybody but that.
Okay, after him.
After him, I had a coach. Coach Jay Bird was somebody I liked a lot during my recruiting process as well. And he was at Dayton during my process. I think he's in Florida now. But it's just, there's only very few coaches that sit you down during that process and really talk to you, tell you about their program, are very truthful, tell you where you're going to fit in. And McGuff was one of those, and so was Coach Jay Bird. So I think I have a ton of respect for both of them. And obviously there are amazing coaches out there, and some that are talked about more than others. But just being able to, play for McGuff was amazing.
Back to social media. We talked about that, and you said you don't like social media. Have you always been that way? Just don't love it, or What don't you give me your rundown on social media?
I am not great at it. I will say that. Like, I know you're supposed to post like often and this and that, and I'm like, I'm gonna post what I want to post, and I've kind of always been like that, which probably doesn't help my brand at times and help like the situation I'm in. But it's just it's great, and it's something that this generation it's huge, obviously, but when I grew up, I was going outside playing wiffle ball and throwing the football with my brother. And now people are on their phones, and that's what I think is social media. But in other terms, it allows, like, Twitter is my favorite, because Twitter is how I get the news. Twitter is how I stay updated on sports and what's going on. And I could scroll on Twitter all day. But again, it's hard to, balance that, I'm sure, for individuals now that are, dealing with this firsthand.
Do you tweet, or do you just consume tweets?
I just consume tweets. I don't tweet a lot. I did, like, in high school maybe, but now I'll just retweet and just kind of just scroll.
What about TikTok?
I'm not a TikToker. I'll scroll sometimes, but I don't make a lot, which is crazy. My sister does. My sister will sit there all day and dance and try to get me in on it. And I'm like, no. And it's probably something I could be good at, but I just don't. I have no interest.
Yeah. Oh, I think also too, because there is a lot of negativity out there. And it's like, what am I doing? Why am I down this rabbit hole of bullshit? Because I find myself, literally at night, you know what I will be doing in bed? I'm on TikTok.
You could be on it for an hour.
It's crazy. But I was just curious, the youngsters. Is there any other app that you're using that you're loving?
No, not really, to be honest with you. I'm not also, if there's new apps, I'm not up to date. So you might have to tell me that. How
does one, Jacy, your schedule's planned for you, you're very committed to your career, you're going to the same places. How will you meet someone?
That's a great question.
Because, the apps, the online dating apps are out there, but those are also from what I hear, it's a jungle out there.
I know. I fear I haven't done that, and I don't know if I will, but that's a great question. One I don't have the answer to. So I think that might be how I meet someone, is obviously when I'm either with friends, other places outside of the gym, obviously. But I try to spend as much time as I can with friends and family when I'm not obviously in the gym, whether that's going to the beach, going to the pool, whatever it may be. But hopefully in other environments like that.
Well, what else are you into? Like, do you like to read? Do you like to?
I just started reading.
Really? What are you reading?
So I read The Teacher, like literally the first book I've read in years. Jalen actually told me about it.
Really?
Yeah. But because I'm bored, I got time. So I'm like, I might as well read some. And I actually have enjoyed it.
No, there's nothing better. The problem for me is the overwhelm. Like when you go into a bookstore or online, there's so much choice.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not all the time that you find a book that you just, that you sink your teeth into. When you do find one though,
I know,
and you can't put it down and you like submerge yourself into the story, there's nothing better than that.
It's been great. And I told her, I'm like, I need you to just give me a book, because if you don't, it's never going to happen. And she did, and I actually liked it.
When are you heading back to Dallas?
April. I'll head back.
Oh, you're parked here for
a minute.
Un momento. And so you're just hanging with the fam right now.
Yeah, right now I'm looking into a couple jobs that hopefully I'll start soon. But
you're gonna start working?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, all right. So I got some this or that's for you. Taylor Swift or Lana Del Rey?
Oh, Taylor Swift. That's. I used to love her when I was little.
Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
So. Can I say both? Between the battle, I'd say Kendrick, but any other time,
he
Drake.
Slapped with that last song.
But they're both great. I probably listen to Drake more, if I'm being honest.
You know what's funny? So do I.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I do think he's soft, but I do listen to him. I want to learn more about your workout.
Okay.
Your workout style. Okay. Cardio or strength?
Strength. Yeah.
Running or cycling?
Running.
Yoga or Pilates?
Oh, Pilates. I can't do yoga. Yoga's horrible for me.
This is what everybody says.
I'm just getting into Pilates, which is hard. Don't get me wrong, but yoga, you'd have to, I can't. It's
Pilates
so hard.
Is the best.
Oh, I'm so excited.
What kind of Pilates are you doing?
I'm doing it. I don't know. I'm just like I'm starting next week at Lifted Studios. Like I'm so excited.
I've been there.
Really?
I love it. Yes,
okay,
that's
good.
Great. That's a really great spot. Good. You're going to love it.
Awesome.
Pilates is its own discipline, and I love it so much. It's like my top tier for me.
Amazing.
CrossFit or bodybuilding?
Ooh, probably CrossFit,
Swimming or rowing?
swimming.
HIIT or circuit training?
Oh, circuit,
Indoor gym or outdoor workout?
indoor gym. I'm biased.
Protein shake or pre-workout drink?
Protein shake,
Deadlifts or squats?
squats.
That says a lot about you right there. That says a lot. 1 mile or 5K?
1 mile.
Group fitness class or personal training?
Personal training.
Treadmill or elliptical?
They both suck.
Good
I'm
answer.
gonna go with elliptical though, probably.
Morning workout or evening workout?
I'm a night owl, definitely evening.
I knew that now just from sitting
Yep.
here with you. Rest day or active recovery?
Active recovery, always.
Do you take any rest days?
No, I probably should, but I do now.
Well, you know what? I mean,
I've learned my lessons a few
you're a
times.
professional athlete. You're obviously doing something right. Summer Olympics or Winter Olympics?
Oof. Probably winter.
Okay, marathon or triathlon?
Marathon. Oh gosh, neither.
Where'd you get your nails done?
I get them done in Dublin. It's called Infinity Nails. I've been going for like 8 years now. They're my people. That's the only place I go.
So who does your hair? Do you have extensions in?
My hair? No, I did
Jesus.
it today. But I
It
do.
looks
I get
so
it
good.
colored by Bryn, who's in Columbus. She's platinum on 5th. She's the best.
Platinum on 5th.
They just they're hidden. They're over on Kinnear actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your skincare routine? I know people are going to want to know that if I don't ask, it's going to be a problem. They're coming for me.
I don't have a crazy one. I use the Clinique stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
But that's all I do.
No
That's it.
lotion.
Moisturizer. I use the Oakley one? Like it's nothing crazy. Like,
Okay, so you're not doing all these,
Nope.
this is another problem with me in TikTok. So it's like they're going like this. They're all like putting the
masks,
serums
I
dripping,
know.
and I'm like, what is
know.
happening? And like some of these women's faces look literally
I
like a
know.
piece of glass.
It's I'm scared
You don't
to
do any
that
of that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, that
So
makes
I'm
me
scared to,
me
like-
feel better.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
No, I
but-
think I like it for me because you're
Okay,
making
good.
me feel like I don't have to order these like these Korean masks.
I'm a sucker for the TikTok. Like I'll order some of that. It's more like I'll order the lash stuff, the teeth, the white, like that stuff.
Do you
They
have
got
a
me.
lash extension currently? Because your
No.
lashes are like almost hitting me right now.
I get a lash lift. I just started getting, but that's it.
It's helped. I mean, literally,
Yeah.
your lashes are like this.
No, it's helped a ton because I don't have to curl them. I don't have to like put mascara on. It's helped a ton.
So the lash lift is basically where they curl them permanently.
Yeah.
But do they also color them?
Yeah, I get the tint too. So they'll
Or
color.
you get the
yeah,
tint and
they'll
okay.
color it too.
Who's doing your lashes?
So everyone's down here. She's actually in Grandview and she does an amazing job.
who is it?
Kayla's her name.
Is she at a certain place or is she like a salon?
Kind of. She's just her. Like I found
Huh.
out from a friend and kind of found her unexpectedly and she's been great.
So what did you eat today so far?
Oh boy. So I ate. So I worked out at 9:30. So I ate a little bit before that. I had a protein bar and yogurt. So nothing crazy. After I went to Firehouse Subs. Firehouse is like my favorite place ever. So around like noon, I went to Firehouse Subs, got a bag of chips, got a cookie, and that's all I've had today.
Did you eat that whole damn cookie?
Of course.
Damn straight you ate that
I'm a
whole
sweet,
damn.
like anything sweet. It's like I have a sweets addiction.
So do I.
Yeah.
But I also have a savory addiction.
Yeah.
A lot of people are one or the other. Like, oh, I love, I don't want cookies and I
Right.
want both. I want to take
feel that.
chips in the cookies and eat. I want to eat it all. How do you? Because you've been injured multiple times, right?
Yeah.
How do you overcome the mental kind of component of that, being that your whole career, your whole livelihood is based on you being physically capable?
Yeah, that I mean, I'd be lying if I said that was an easy adjustment. I think college, I had a pretty severe injury there too, and everything happens for a reason. I think I learned a lot from that. Just as far as basketball's my escape, my therapy almost, like what keeps me sane. So having that taken away I didn't know what to do with myself for, a couple weeks. And I think rehab became I looked forward to going in and doing rehab every day and obviously working towards getting better. I think I leaned more on my family, my friends in that time, and definitely relied more on them in that time and spent more time with them too, which helped me more than anything. And then being around the game in any way I could still. So Ohio State, I was still at practice. I was almost felt like a player coach on the bench because I had to look at the game in a different way. And just doing everything you can to get yourself healthy again is kind of my mind flip. And it sucks. No one's got it's horrible, and it's hard. Some days are harder than others, but I think making sure you kind of almost flip when you're a competitor, I flip my mindset from obviously going and working out, getting better every day to, all right, I'm competing with myself now to get healthy. And that's kind of helped me through it all, I guess.
What was the injury, the severe injury?
I had a foot injury at Ohio State. Was it my senior year, maybe? I think it was my senior year. I missed most of my season. I came back in the tournament, but I missed majority of the season that year. Yeah.
And did you say you were in a car accident too?
I was. That was my junior year of high school. That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
So you've overcome some serious like physical. So you know how to give your body rest and know it's not a sprint.
Yeah. I didn't for a while. Until my college injury, I probably didn't listen to my body at all, really, or do the things my body needed. And I think when that hit, it was kind of a wake up call. Like you're doing too much. You're kind of wearing yourself out. And like I said, everything happens for a reason. I think I obviously look at things differently now and don't wear myself into the ground. And especially at this level, you can't. So I think I definitely learned from it.
So what is Jacy like 5, 6, 7 years from now? What does that look like?
Oh, gosh.
And then we're going to play the tape back. We're going to play it back.
Oh, gosh. I would say, I don't know. I think 5, 6 years from now, maybe I'm still playing. Maybe I'm not. I want to play, obviously, as long as I can. It's something I love doing. So I think once I'm done with that, broadcasting has always been something I want to go into. Football is what I want to do, like sideline football reporting. And I'm sure I'll do basketball too along the way. But that's always been, I don't know, college, it was kind of a realization of I think that's what I want to do when I'm done playing. And it's a way to stay around the game. And then, I'm going beyond.
Yeah, let's do it.
Years.
Let's go a decade out. Let's go. Decade.
I eventually want to work. My aunt has a business called Ability Matters, works with individuals with special needs and provides them with things, housing, experiences they might not have, a lot of things. And I want to be involved in there in some way and giving back and being around individuals with special needs. And it's because of my sister. I think it's something that, ever since she's born, I knew I wanted to be a part of. So that's when I'm older and it's all said and done, that's something I want to do as well.
Do you have any sort of like motto or quote or thing that you repetitively say to yourself, internal dialogue?
Yeah, a lot. I think when you're an athlete, you kind of have to, right? So couple are probably better than others. One is, have you ever seen Christmas Vacation? So, the quote, it's all part of the experience.
Yeah.
I probably use that 20 times a day, like for years now. Which I mean, has like me and my friends joke about it, but it's kind of real. Like whatever happens, we look at it as it's all part of the experience. It's supposed to happen, and kind of gets you through things easier. But that's one we kind of joke around with. The other, everything happens for a reason, is huge. My sisters, I just always go back to that. That's the only proof I need there. But it's true. I think, especially looking at my journey to this point. That's a deeper one that I think is pretty powerful.
Yeah, I want to meet Emmy someday.
Yeah, I would have brought her to school. I was hoping. Yeah.
No, I would love to. I would absolutely love to meet her. Well, Jacy, this has been an absolute delight.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much. I'm gonna be following you.
Awesome.
No matter where you go, I'll be watching and rooting you on. And if you're still out there following your girl, follow me on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And until next time, keep moving, baby. That's great.
Awesome. Well, thank you.